Hello, musicians, amp enthusiasts, and DIYers. I think I fall into all of those categories, but I do not claim to have any knowledge on this type of thing. So I strongly encourage you, if you're in the Boone, North Carolina area, to check out Hammertone Amps. He's provided some great guidance for me on this restoration attempt, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things. As you can see, I have removed the tubes from my Fender Bassman 10 head, and we're just taking a closer look because there are a couple of things that I want to point out. If you plan on doing this, the tubes, there were two 6L6 GC. These are the larger tubes here. A 12AT7, and there were two 7025s. Okay. One of them, the GLCs, 6L6 GCs, was clearly compromised. The vacuum had been lost on the tube, so both of these were going to have to be replaced, as it's recommended to do those in pairs. It's a good thing because in my attempt to remove it, I try to not touch the tubes. I hear that's what you're supposed to do. Really don't know. But as you can see, this tip here broke off despite my best efforts of trying to be very careful. Let me show that a little better. But that did happen. But there's one other thing that I want to point out, and that is right here. It looks like at some point this was broken. I don't know how. The pin still looks like it's in good shape, the pin receptacle. So I think I'll be okay, but I'd be very interested to get your opinion on that. And if I need to replace it, I will. Just don't know where I'd get the parts right now. But you can see that there's like a chip right here. Now, also, you will notice these two finishing nails. Interesting story. So as I was removing the tubes, I picked this up and turned it upside down, and these fell out. Now, I have no idea how they got in there. This amp has been moved on several occasions, and I'm sure that's not very good for the amp, the electronics, to have finishing nails rolling around in there. But we're going to flip it over now, put it in a cardboard box so I can take a look at the back side of this and let you see that. So we have flipped the head over now, and just taking a closer look to see if there's anything that's obvious. Nothing really jumps out at me, but I do not pretend to know what I'm doing here. I do want to point out one thing. I'm not sure if you can even see it, but this lead here is loose. I found it just sitting on the bottom of the head, and just assuming that came from some of the delicate electronics that are inside here. I want to see if I can't get in a little bit closer to show the condition of the different capacitors, resistors, leads, so forth and so on. I'm hoping this is coming out pretty clear. There's a little bit of, I don't know, leakage here. Not sure, but we'll just give it a thorough going over. Someone sees something that I need to be aware of in this restoration project, I'd appreciate it if you could point it out. Nothing appears from my view to be obvious. It'd have to be obvious for me to notice it. So, but those with the trained eyes, I'm sure there's something that I'm overlooking. But we'll try to keep this in good shape. I don't know if I should come back with the light. Maybe so. We'll give it a shot. I'll pause here in a second. We'll come back with the light. All right, that shines a little bit of a better view on the electronics here. So we'll take another slow pan for the condition of the electronics. And so, you know, let me know if you see anything that I'm missing. I'd really appreciate it. We'll post soon. Thanks. Before I close things out, I did have another question regarding the best things to utilize to clean up this amp. My plan currently is to use just some simple general purpose cleaners to clean off the mold and mildew of this thing. I've got some places here. I'm going to try to just glue these back down. This is where the metal bands that were holding the electronics for the head were in. Of course, you had the handle here. My plan there is for those metal pieces is to soak them in CLR and see how that does. After I get it cleaned up, I was planning on coming back with perhaps some Armor All, but we've got a couple of additional corner pieces to clean up, remove that is, and to clean up. And then for this face here, I'm not sure. Also, for the cover, the cover here is stained, and I don't know what the best thing to try to use for that is without damaging it. But this is fun. I don't know how economical this is. This is just kind of a fun project, and as long as it doesn't get crazy, I don't mind doing it. And so your suggestions are greatly appreciated. Thanks much. I'm not sure if this camera will pick it up, but there's some mildew type stain here on the amp. So we've got some specific mildew type cleaner that we're going to use, and then I will wipe it down with some Lysol wipes. At that point, I'm going to go back and try to glue these down where the cover has been torn. See if I can't glue some of them down. May just have to deal with some of it, but that's how we're going to go about that. And then when I'm done, I'll come back with some Armor All, I believe. See how it looks. I was afraid that something like this may happen, and looks like that as I was cleaning this thing up, handling the speakers, I may have cracked one of the speaker cones. Anyway, this is what I discovered. I noticed this when I went to pick it up. Not sure if I did it, if it was already there, but regardless, I hope this doesn't turn out to be a money pit of any kind. But we're going to push through. I've cleaned up the unit substantially through the methods that I detailed earlier, and it already looks much, much better. I plan to come back with some super glue to try to make some of these flaps, get these flaps to lay down and just make that look better. I've got the metal parts soaking in CLR, and once I finish gluing the flaps down, then we'll go back and do some armor all. Thanks.